So I don't know what's happening, but apparently we've all been transported back to 2018. Or at least that's what it seems like, because there's a bunch of updates about Bitconnect, one of the original cryptocurrency scams on YouTube. I think this is the third update about Bitconnect we've had this year. I did one on the main channel. This is the second on the second channel that I've done. But there's a bunch of updates about Bitconnect that if you don't know, Bitconnect was a massive cryptocurrency scam that was popular on YouTube in 2017. In January of 2018, it collapsed, and everyone who promoted it ran away. And it seemed like for years, a couple people got in trouble right away, but it seemed for years, a lot of the big promoters, nothing really happened to them. But now, some of them are actually facing justice in 2026. Specifically, who we're going to talk about today is one of the biggest promoters on YouTube at the time was a guy named Craig Grant. If you don't know, I've been covering the story for a long time. I used to talk about Craig Grant on my first channel years ago. Craig Grant was, if you were someone who watched YouTube and you had to watch ads back in 2018 or 2017, you most likely saw an ad from Craig Grant. Craig Grant was spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to promote Bitconnect. He had these ads on YouTube where he's like, "This is my Bitconnect wallet with my 20 Bitcoin, and you could have this too if you signed up for Bitconnect."
This is my Instagram introduction. It's been a while since I've posted, but I used to always post my Bitcoin wallet on there to show off. And my last time I posted said 4 Bitcoin. Now I have 54. And this is only about half of what I have. The other half is over here on Bitconnect. Right? You want to check this out. This is where I earn all my Bitcoin. I don't buy Bitcoin, I earn it. Have 34 sitting there. I just earned another there, right? So you want to know about Bitconnect, you want to check out my YouTube.
So Craig Grant was everywhere on YouTube back in 2017, running ads, trying to get people to invest in Bitconnect. After Bitconnect collapsed in 2018, both Craig Grant and another big creator named Trevon James claimed that all of their Bitcoin was stolen. So they tried to make people feel bad for them. Guys, I lost all my Bitcoin in a hack. I don't know what to do. Don't be mad at me because Bitconnect went under. I'm also broke because my Bitcoin was stolen, right? And nobody believed him. Nobody believed him. But what was interesting was back in 20, was it what? I don't know what year it was exactly. It might have been 2020, 2021, but after it became clear that the FBI was going to look into the Bitconnect disaster and possibly charge these influencers for promoting this scam, Craig Grant fled the country. He went to Jamaica, and he's been living in Jamaica, has not returned to the U.S. since the FBI said they wanted to talk to him. And now it's all coming to head because the SEC actually sued Craig Grant a few years ago, and he never responded because he lives in Jamaica and he wants to pretend like Bitconnect never happened. And so now there has been a default judgment filed against Craig Grant by the SEC. So this guy is in very big trouble. Now we're going to take a look at this article from the great website known as Behind the MLM. I'll have a link to that. This website has great updates on different scams that I've covered. So we're going to take a look at this article right here. So it says, 2.68 million judgment against Bitconnect's Craig Grant. The SEC has secured a 2.68 million final default judgment against Bitconnect promoter Craig Grant. Bitconnect was a 2.4 billion MLM crypto Ponzi that collapsed in early 2018. The SEC filed suit against Craig Grant and other Bitconnect promoters in mid-2021. In the aftermath of Bitconnect's collapse, Craig Grant fled Florida for Jamaica. Grant's personal and legal strategy since 2018 can be summed up as shamelessly pretend Bitconnect didn't happen. Having failed to respond to the SEC's lawsuit, default judgment was sought against Grant in late 2024. On August 7, 2026, the court granted the SEC's default judgment motion. Grant's Bitconnect default judgment consists of $1,748,000 in disgorgement, $700,000 in prejudgment interest, and $230,000 in civil penalty. Grant has been ordered to pay the amount within 30 days of August 7th. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not going to happen. He's not going to pay that in 30 days, guys. Now, since fleeing to Jamaica in 2018, Grant has been living on a family property on the southern eastern edge of Cockpit Country, Trelawney Parish. Grant has been slowly renovating the property, presumably funded by money stolen through Bitconnect. Grant listed the renovated property on Airbnb in February 2025. That link doesn't work. This website has been covering this for years. Years ago, you actually could look at his property on Airbnb, but the link doesn't work anymore. But he was listing his property on Airbnb, which is weird because I feel like that the government would know exactly where you are then. So I don't know why he would do that. As of August 2026, Grant is still uploading AI slop and domestic farming content to his frequently named change Aya Villa's YouTube channel. I've looked at his channel before. He changes the name all the time. Apparently Craig Grant follows this website, and whenever they mention him, if they mention his website, his YouTube channel or something, he like immediately changes the name. So it's probably not the same name if you try and look it up now. Grant's default judgment closes the chapter on 4 of the 5 Bitconnect promoters the SEC sued in 2021. Joshua Jeppesen settled for 3.18 million plus 190 Bitcoin. Leuro Mescola settled for 576,000. Ryan Macsen settled for 525,000. Michael Noble settled for 1.07 million. Note judgment wasn't finalized till July 2026. Trevon James reached a settlement, which I talked about on the main channel, with the SEC in May 2026, but as of time of publication, commission approval remains pending. So there is the update on Bitconnect scam promoter Craig Grant. He now has, what was the total amount? 2.8 was it? 2.68 million default judgment against him by the SEC. I don't think they're ever going to get that money back from him, guys. Now, I don't actually know the whole process of if Craig Grant decides to just ignore this. I don't know if they're going to go to Jamaica because he's not in the U.S. Are they going to go to Jamaica and arrest him? I don't know. That would be an interesting development. I would definitely cover that if they went to Jamaica and arrested Craig Grant for not paying this default judgment. But I really don't know what's going to go on from here. They haven't really done a whole lot because like they knew he was in Jamaica. And if you don't know the story in the past, initially they tried to serve him. They served a different guy named Craig Grant in Jamaica. They served the wrong person, and then they did eventually serve the correct Craig Grant. But other than that, he's just kind of been ignoring this in Jamaica. I don't know what's going to happen going forward if he'll continue to ignore it, but he now has a default judgment against him. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that in the year 2026, I've done 3 update stories about Bitconnect. The first crypto scam I ever covered all the way back in 2018. I've been making YouTube videos for 8 years. Actually, I started in 2017. So it's almost been an entire decade I've been making YouTube videos. Pretty crazy now. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, there you go. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Do you think Craig Grant's going to go to jail? Do you think he'll actually pay and ask for forgiveness for promoting the scam? Probably not. But let me know what you think in the comments below.